when she was asking, like, are you sure you're okay? Is there anything going on? I remember in my head going, well, there's that one thing with Dad. But the thing is, I didn't know that I was being abused. I didn't know what my dad was doing to me was wrong, because that's all I knew.
We women, we always have this instinct that tells us something is up, something is going on. So as a mom, and you're having that, is something up, is something up with my daughter, and you're asking like, is anybody touching you, is something going on? I feel like another question to ask is, do you have any secrets? Because this lady shared how she told her mom that her dad has been essaying her, and because of the conversation, she's saying that her mom was always asking her like, are you comfortable with your daddy? Is anybody touching you? Are you okay? But because she doesn't even know what is going on, so she feels she doesn't even know she's being abused. At some age, you don't even know what's going on, especially when you're not even expecting it from the person that is doing that to you. And sometimes when the person even threaten you and say, don't tell anybody, this is our little secret. Children don't know what's going on. They don't understand what's going on, especially if you're not exposed to things like that. So our mom has been asking her, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, I just feel like she has been having that thought in her head, but there is no proof. Until one day, our mom asked her, do you have a secret you want to share with me? And that was when she told the mom that the dad has been touching her. Let me show you the video.
This person is asking, how did your mom find out? Did you tell her, or did she ask you? And I've gotten a lot of questions very similar to this, and I have been avoiding answering it because the little pieces of the timeline, the little stories of, telling my mom, my dad being arrested, all that, it's not necessarily blurry, but a lot of the details are hard to recall. So I've been avoiding it because I'm like, I don't know if I'm telling it exactly correctly, like all the little stuff, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So it was December of 2016, and I was headed to one of my art classes with my mom. It was in the evening, so probably like 5 p.m. ish. And on the way there, she asked me if I was okay, because I had been, especially like leading right up to the arrest, I had been very off. I was not eating. I did not want to, I wasn't very social. Like, I wasn't super expressive. I was very dull, very robotic. And she knew something was off, but she couldn't figure out what it was. And all that I remember is when she was asking, like, are you sure you're okay? Is there anything going on? I remember in my head going, well, there's that one thing with Dad. But the thing is, I didn't know that I was being abused. I didn't know what my dad was doing to me was wrong, because that's all I knew. And she asked me, she said, do you have a secret? And that's when I told her. And when I told her, it wasn't, in my head, it wasn't like I genuinely didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think anything was going to happen again, because I didn't know this was bad. And so I told her what Daddy has been doing to me, and that he told me to not tell you. And yeah, I went into my art class, and I remember I think I was pretty distracted, just kind of thinking about what had just happened. And this is where I'm kind of like iffy about the story. I genuinely don't remember if I felt better after telling her, or if I didn't feel any difference at all. I don't really remember how I felt in that moment. I just remember I went into art class and was like, yeah, like, it's fine. Like, I'll go. She asked me, she's like, are you sure you still want to go in? And I said, yeah, I'll do it. And that was when my mom's life completely turned upside down, was that moment after she sent me into art class. And I had no idea. And actually, that's when it all started. And a year ago, or 8 years ago from yesterday, so it was December 13th, that is when I had an interview with the Children's Justice Center, and I told them everything, and that is when my mom kicked Jason out of the house, or that's my dad's name is Jason. She kicked my dad out of the house, and never saw him. Like, after my art class, I never saw him. And yeah, and then he was arrested at gunpoint from his office, because that's where he was staying. And hold on. Now, it wasn't until a few days after that my mom sat all my siblings down and told us that our dad had been arrested. And for my own privacy and safety, to my brothers, all they knew at first was that he hurt a little kid. He did something that he shouldn't have, and that he's going to jail for it. And the following days, I remember just being pretty numb, pretty out of it. There's these pictures of us building some Christmas Legos. Let me see if I can find them. And I look like I am not there. So this was December 17th, 2016. So I believe this was 2 days after my dad was arrested. Yeah. So it's really kind of it to the story of like how I told her. The reason why it took me so long to tell her was, like I said in the beginning, I didn't know that there was anything to tell. I didn't know that what my dad was doing to me was not normal, or that it was not okay, that it wasn't normal, that it, was bad. I remember when I think it was probably like 4th grade, they had one of those presentations where they come in and they talk about the different kinds of abuse. And I remember getting to sexual abuse, and I was like, is my dad no. And I felt really bad for even thinking that my dad would do that. But a part of me was like, is that what's going on? And I kind of just brushed it aside, because again, I was like, I don't, it's probably nothing. But yeah, that's why it took me so long to tell her. That's why a lot of people will be in my mom's comments like, well, why didn't you ask her sooner? She did. She asked me many times, are you okay? Is there something you need to tell me? Do you feel safe around this person? She even directly asked me once, are you being abused? Or is anyone touching you? And I told her no, because I didn't know. She even asked me, she said, do you feel safe around your dad? And I said, yeah, he's my dad. And so it's not like she wasn't asking. She was. I didn't know. And then once she asked me if I had a secret, that's when I was like, maybe this is what I need to tell her, Yeah, that's, if you go onto my mom's page, she has a lot more videos that kind of have more detail to the story, because she's got more she remembers more of it. She remembers the details very vividly. Like, I was so young and going through so much. It's kind of like just the facts are there for me. I don't really remember a lot of what I was feeling. But yeah, that's how I told my mom.
Some people will say, don't you know that the man is a PDF before getting married to him? Don't you know that he has a trait? You must have seen the red flag. It's a lie. You must have seen the red flag that he's into children. but you went ahead to marry him. Some people will blame the mother, or some people say, as a mom, you're supposed to know immediately when your daughter start changing. People will always blame women for men bad behavior. It's normal, right? But there's something I know is a man that is PDF will not show you that is PDF. Okay. Unless probably you catch him or he says it with his mouth. He will never say it with his mouth, to be honest. They don't always show it, right? And that is why most of the time when ladies or girls are being essayed, they are essayed by people that are supposed to protect them, people that are trustworthy, their brother, their daddy, the grandpa, you know, uncle, that, trusted person. It is not always a stranger. It is not always somebody you met in on the streets that will just essay a young girl. Yes, it happens. They do that. They rape women or girls on the road. But I'm saying most of the time, it is the people that you don't expect they should do something like people that you trust to leave your child with. Because I saw a video of a mother saying that check check your daughters down there every day to see if there's any changes. Always check your daughters down there every day, especially when you leave them with somebody. And there was a comment on that video. The person was like, why would you leave your child with somebody you don't trust? And what came to my head is not that you leaving your child with somebody you don't trust. It's even leaving your child with somebody you trust. It's even worse because you trust them so much and you expect or you don't expect things like that to happen. In fact, women, women, young girls as well, or adult children, or how would I put it, also do stuff to girls, young girls like that. It doesn't have to be men that will do things like that. So anybody can do whatever to a young child. Anybody. And it's not about you saying, oh, I don't want to leave my child with somebody I don't trust. What if they go to school? What if they go to school? What's gonna happen? Are you going to sit in the classroom with your child all through, monitoring who is going to touch and who is not going to touch? A lot of things going to happen that you cannot have control over. It's just like somebody saying, oh, how did you allow your child to injure, fall down and injure when you're literally where the child was? Your eyes cannot be on your child 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days. Like, it's not possible. There are some times that you're just looking away, and you looking away for that little minute, a lot can happen. Okay, so most of the time is that people that are trusted, the fathers, all these essay story that we talked about in 2024, or women that came to say, oh, I was being essay, I was raped several times. It is their father. Okay, either father, either grandfather, either brother, uncle. Most of the time is the father. And I'm so glad how this woman actually, responded to it, because some mothers will try to cover the whole thing and tell the daughter, like, you don't know what you're saying, your dad can never do something like that to you, your dad loves you, or they'll just ignore it. I like the fact that she didn't actually disclose what happened to the other siblings. Let her be the one to share her story. And that's something about essay and grape. You don't share other people's story. Let them share their story. Okay. Just like this trophy wife, yeah, that came out to start talking about how her husband has been sleeping with her daughters. One thing that was wrong in that video was she sharing the story for her daughters. They're still young. Let them come out to share the story by themselves. Most of the time, some people don't want to talk about it. Some people don't want to say it. Let them say it at their right time. Okay? Anyways, you think checking your daughters down there is a good thing? My own is, how old are going to be your daughters to check them down there? If they are some age, you can't keep opening their down there and start checking all the time. It's going to make them very uncomfortable. It's going to make them really very uncomfortable. But the woman was in that video, she was like, she does this until her daughters can talk and explain what is what. Look at this video now. She could talk. She was 9 years old. She knows something was going on, but she didn't understand until she was able to talk. Most of the time, you might not be able, you cannot bring those things out of their mouth, or I don't even know how to put it. It's just like, anyways, guys, what is your take on this video? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section, respectfully as always. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.